What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Couch Talk. So, today's topic is going to be kind of broad. I know I've done some more kind of specific topics, but today's topic is just kind of on success, kind of what success means to me, what success means to other people, kind of the stigma around success, maybe some tips that can help you grow to be successful, and kind of ways that hinder a couple of things that can kind of hinder success and growth as well. So I'm going to dive into it, kind of what success means to me. Success for me is being happy in all aspects of my life. So that would be, for example, having good relationships with friends, family, significant others, being in a good spot with work, being financially where I want to be. That's kind of the idea of success for me, is just being happy in every aspect of my life. Now, I do think the reality of it is it's hard to get all of those things at once. So you got to go with the ebbs and flows and the peaks and valleys of it all. But yeah, I think success has this stigma of like big success. You know, we think of success as, oh, you got the 6-figure job. Oh, you got this dream house you've always wanted. But I don't always think success has to be on a large scale. I think we kind of pedestal success at that. But in full transparency, success can be small things. Success can be you hit a goal that you had given yourself 5 months ago. Success can be kind of like I mentioned, you got good relationships with your friends or family. You've put in that work to have that successful piece. Or you've put in that work to land that job. That's success. You grinded, you set that goal of getting that job, and now you got that goal. That is succeeding. Now, some of the things that I do believe lead to success, this is just my opinion, as well as what I've gone through that I've seen success in. The first one is clear goal setting. You know, and I do think in order to succeed, you really need to set goals, because to succeed, you got to have some kind of direction, and goals very much do help with that direction. My last video is all about goal setting, so if you wanted to check that out, I'll link that down below. The second one is a positive attitude. As corny as it may sound, a positive attitude goes such a long way, because I think once you start to fall into a rut or a negative headspace, it drags down the whole process, and it makes you almost backtrack and lose all that momentum that you had already had. A third one is going to be hard work and persistence. I will use the example of a job right here. The grind of applying to 10 jobs every day until you land a job, that's grind. That's a real grind, man. Like that's no joke. It gets monotonous. It gets boring, because you're just on this rinse and repeat cycle at that point. And then being persistent. You know, it's important when you're applying to jobs to follow up. So if you don't hear back in a week, and if there's a recruiter on the LinkedIn page that is where the job is, you know, reach out. It doesn't hurt to do that. Now, I'm not saying email them every single day, but, you know, like I said, if you don't hear from them in a week, send a little follow-up email. And just really let them know that you're interested. Being resilient is a fourth one. You know, I do find that resilience is key, especially when you're having no success, because it's very easy to fall into the headspace of overthinking, what am I doing wrong? Uh, like, why am I not getting the results I want? Because you're clearly putting in the work, but you're just not getting the results. So resilience is huge. Like, keep that positive mindset through the whole process. Apologies if I'm looking down. I'm just looking at my notes. Be disciplined. That's another one. That's what, the fifth one? That's big. This kind of goes back to setting those clear goals. If you're someone that's looking for a job, set that goal of 10 applications a day and stick to it, because it's so easy to have one of your friends call you up, be like, hey, you want to go out, catch a game, want to go get a drink, want to go do whatever. It's so easy to get taken off your pivot with that. So you got to make sure to stay disciplined. And if the end goal is to get that job, it's okay to tell your friends no. It's okay to tell people no. Because at the end of the day, if they're your true friends, they will understand. So that's being disciplined. Another one that I think is not is kind of looked over is being self-aware. And I'm not saying being self-aware of how you look, but being self-aware in the sense of know your strengths and weaknesses. A mentor of mine back in college told me to, in a notebook or in your phone, write down all your strengths and weaknesses. Actually take the time to see where you're really strong at, and then see where you truly lack. And I'll be honest, that took me a little while. That, just full transparency, because like in everyone's mind, like, nobody's got weaknesses. Nobody wants to admit that. But it takes a strong person to really look at yourself and identify your weaknesses. I have gotten so much better about that ever since my mentor told me to write them all down. And I think the pro as well of writing down your weaknesses, it gives you areas to grow, whether it be personal or professional. I think that's huge. And then another one is going to be adaptability. You know, to be successful, I think you really have to be okay with kind of being able to pivot on the fly. I guess, for example, in a job, you never know what's going to hit you that day. So just being able to kind of jump around and pivot, and be okay with learning new things on the pivot. I think that's a huge one. And these last two are massive. I really think these two things, they kind of tie into each other, but I'm convinced if you have these two things, you are more than halfway there already. The last two are confidence and believing in yourself. Again, you got to be confident in what you can bring to the table, regardless of what the situation is, and you got to believe in yourself. It's important to have a good group of people around you that not only believe in you, but make sure that you believe in yourself, and make sure that you know that you got this. Like I said, if you are confident, if you can work on the confidence and then can learn to believe in yourself, I'm telling you, you are more than halfway there. So those are a lot of the big things, big ideas of success for me, and kind of my opinion on it. But kind of like I mentioned too, I wanted to bring up some of the ways that can hinder success or growth. One is the direct opposite of what I just said, doubting yourself. I think it's easy to doubt yourself when you get yourself into a completely new situation where either you don't have the background or you just don't know anything about it. And to be completely transparent, I think that's pretty normal too, though. I think anyone would have a little bit of doubt if they're getting into something brand new that they have no idea what they're getting into. But you got to keep that confident mindset going into something brand new, because for all you know, it could turn out to be the best thing you ever did. 2 is comparing yourself. Comparison is like a slow burn of a death, because I think social media nowadays glorifies all these millionaires, all these people that have these like peak bodies. And if you're forever chasing that, you're kind of losing sight of what you need to be doing. Because also a lot of these things aren't always attainable and aren't always healthy the way that they're publicizing it. So comparing yourself is truly a slow burn of a death to absolutely hinder your success. And this is another one. This is the third one and last one that is kind of a double-edged sword, because it's very normal. But also you got to work really hard to not let it get to you, and that is giving up when it gets hard and not seeing results. We live in a society nowadays of wanting instant gratification, and especially when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to anything that requires time. I think it's so easy to give up when you're not seeing the result you're hoping for. So I highly would recommend, like, keep pushing, because not only will you prove to yourself that you can exceed your own expectations, but B, it makes you stronger and also just gives you a lot more confidence, because also when you get the result you want, you can look back and see all the trials and tribulations you went through that made you that stronger person that has now got you to this result. So do not give up when times get harder, you're not seeing the results you want. Like I said, I do think it is totally normal, however, but do try really hard not to let that get you down. Like I said, try and flip your mindset into just be disciplined, have that positive attitude, be confident, believe in yourself. Because I will always say too, as someone that is applying to jobs, if you interview for a job and you don't get picked, it's a good learning opportunity. I always say reach out to the recruiter and ask for feedback, so that the next interview you have with whoever, you can implement that feedback. But also just have that mindset of, you're killing it. You're taking all the right steps. You are who you are. You know what you bring to the table. And if a company passes you up, it's the company's loss, not yours. Because, not to get too deep in the weeds with jobs and companies, but not only do you have to be a good fit for the company, but the company has to be a good fit for you. So always keep that in mind. So yeah, that's kind of my take on what I think it takes to be successful. There's obviously so many more, and just a couple of hindrances to success and growth. And so as always, we do the quote of the day and kind of what it means to me. This quote today is, I'll be honest, I kind of said it earlier in the believing in yourself. But this is a quote from Theodore Roosevelt that is pretty much believe in yourself and you're already halfway there. That truly is, it's as basic as it gets. You gotta believe in yourself to succeed and do anything. You really do. And, even if it's scary, even if it is scary, you gotta just trust your gut, believe in yourself, and make that jump. Because majority of the time, it will pay off in the end, and you'll be happy you did it. Alrighty, guys. So this is the end of episode 12, I believe. And I will be back tomorrow with a new topic. Peace.